Jealousy is such a big part of people's lives. I've had many people around me growing up that were extremely successful and many people around me that were extremely poor. The ones who were envious of the successful people, those people are destroying themselves mentally because they don't realize that they have a gift. You have a gift when you're unsuccessful. You have a curse when you are successful. If you play your cards right, you can see the advantages of both. If you play your cards wrong, which most people do, you crash into your positions. When you're an unsuccessful kid, you have these motivations to look up to. You see that kid that their parents buy them whatever car they want at 16 to 18. Does that not fucking make you mad? You have enough anger now, more anger than that kid, to get out there and afford whatever car you want yourself. You have enough anger if they're buying him the best clothes, if they're buying her the best clothes, if they're buying them trips and your parents can't afford it, or you can't afford it, or you can't do the things that these other kids are doing. You have that fire in you now. Use that fire because those kids don't have that fire. They don't need that fire. They're not hungry. They don't have a reason to be hungry. You have a reason to be hungry. Use your hunger. See that these people around you are getting granted things. Sure, life is unfair, but they'll pay their price later. You don't get granted anything now, so you can build that hunger and that fire to buy your own things, to achieve your own things, to stand on your own feet. Take me as an example. I grew up with an extremely successful family, and then my family crashed and burned when I was reaching teenage years. I grew up around kids that were successful. I was seeing them buying these great things. I was seeing parents buy their kids Lamborghinis, Ferraris. They got their apartments. They got any car they want, Rolexes, anything they wanted. I couldn't get any of these things. Now, I'm not saying my parents were in a bad position. They got me whatever the fuck I wanted relative to what we had. But I wasn't getting Lamborghinis. I wasn't getting fucking Rolexes. So I got angry. I wanted those things. It wasn't a possibility at that time for me when I was fucking fat and I was failing school and I didn't have any aspirations and I barely knew what I wanted to do. It wasn't a possibility for me to have these things. And I was kind of jealous. I wasn't jealous at them. I was jealous at the world. I was saying, why is it so unfair? Why is it that he gets this and I don't? I did not realize that me not getting those things was what built the fire in me, built the anger in me to go out there and achieve those things myself. Are you not capable of that? When I bought this watch, this wasn't my first Rolex, but when I bought this watch, I was fucking happy. When I bought my first one, I was fucking ecstatic. I was running around the richest neighborhoods in Toronto, screaming, berating, cheering. People thought I was crazy, but they didn't understand that feeling when I bought my first Rolex. They didn't understand how much of an achievement it was to me. I promise you that feeling that I had when I bought my first Rolex will overcome any kid that gets granted a Rolex by someone that they're related to or someone that they live with or anything like that. That feeling of achievement is only something that the unsuccessful people can achieve. You cannot achieve that when you're granted gifts. You cannot have that feeling when you're granted gifts. If you are truly unsuccessful, if you are truly struggling, if you truly want things and you can't have them right now, you have a fire inside you that you just need to fucking let burn. And when it burns, you'll have the capability to go out in there and get whatever you want. The lifestyle that you'll build for yourself will build you into this confident person that nobody can knock over. There's kids out there that have any car they want from their parents, any watch they want from their parents, any clothes they want, any lifestyle they want from their parents. When they stand in the same room as me, I made my money. I'm almost like their father figure. I can stand there like their dad. I can say, I make the money in my family. Your dad makes the money in your family. I make the money in my family. I make the money in my life. In your life, your father makes you the money. And that makes me happier and more powerful than anybody can tell. The feeling of getting my first Rolex was better than actually having my first Rolex. Because I told myself, I proved to myself something by doing that. If you're granted your first Rolex, you're not proving yourself anything. You're just getting a Rolex. But when I bought my first one with my own money, with the hard work I put at 18, 19, I proved to myself something, that I was capable of something bigger. When I did my first 10K a month, I proved to myself something. When I reached every single monetary milestone after that, I was proving to myself something. It changed my lifestyle along the way. And as it changed the way I live, it changed my confidence level. It changed the way I carried myself. My aura, my attraction to people increased. People were trying to become closer with me. People were trying to feed knowledge off of me because of the accomplishments that I made for myself. I bought my mom a car. That feeling of buying your mother a car, not many people will experience that. And especially at 19, 20. You will never have a feeling like that in your life. Especially if you don't need to have that feeling, if you don't have the hunger for that feeling.